chapter 21, he puts his heart together again. What point of view is this story being told?
Second.
And third. I say the story is being told with third person point of view because we used to know that we were telling the story about Despereaux. Now we're telling the story about Roscoe. So I must have a narrator that can see all of the parts of the stories and the different characters. If it was first person point of view, we would only be able to see what Despereaux saw or what Roscoe saw. Now sometimes the author sneaks into second point of view. Sometimes he'll say, reader, and he'll talk directly to you. When the author does that, they're changing just for a moment to talk directly to you and talk to the reader of the story. So when we left off yesterday, the author said, do you think rats have hearts? We said, well, no. And he said, this reader broke Roscoe's heart. If the rat had not looked over their shoulder, perhaps his heart would not have broken, and it's possible I would not have a story to tell. I is the narrator. But reader, he did look. Reader is you. Talking to you is second point of view. So this author confuses us a little by going back and forth in point of view. But today we're back to the story in chapter 21, and we're in third person point of view. Roscoe hurried from the banquet hall. A rat, he said. He put his paw over his heart. I am a rat, and there is no light for rats. The king was still shouting, save her, save her, save her! And the queen was still dead, of course. When Roscoe encountered the queen's royal soup spoon, it was lying on the floor. I will have something beautiful, he said. I am a rat, but I will have something beautiful. I will have a crown of my own. He picked up the spoon and he put it on his head. And there's a picture of Roscoe with the queen's spoon on his head, and it says, I will have something beautiful, and I will have revenge. You see the picture of Roscoe with the spoon on his head?
Oh, Roscoe. I don't think that last looks like.
Yes, said Roscoe, I will have something beautiful, and I will have revenge. Both things, somehow. There are those hearts, reader. What point of view is that? Second. That never mend again once they are broken. Or if they do mend, they heal themselves crooked and lopsided, as if they were sewn together by careful craftsmen. Such was the fate of Churrasco. His heart was broken. Picking up the spoon and placing it on his head, speaking of revenge, these things helped him put his heart back together again. But it was, alas, put together wrong. Where is the rat? Shouted the king. Find the rat! What point of view are we in now?
Second.
No. Third. Now we're back to telling the story. The author's not talking to you anymore. The author's telling the story again. So the king says, find the rat. If you want me, muttered Roscoe as he left the banquet hall, I will be in the dungeon, in the darkness.